for governments what they cannot do for themselves. Even if you take Netanyahu now, he is very happy what we do here and also about our plans to build Jewish communities in Gaza. He's happy about it, but he cannot say it. He says the opposite. It's not realistic. Good! We will make it realistic. It's not forcing the government, it's helping the government.
Under the Geneva Convention.
Yeah, that is the voice of the wicked witch of the East. I don't know the wicked witch of the West. But now we're having the wicked witch of the East. That is the voice of Daniela Weiss. This woman here, where is she? This one, yeah. You see her? That is the voice of that evil woman, the face of evil that I see, I look at now at the moment. Here, yeah, this one. This woman is called Daniela Weiss, and she is a Jew. I'm going to do this because I don't believe that they're Jews anyway. So she say that. And she's in Israel now, and she has an organization called the Hala. Hal is in like Haala, I believe. And they are a movement that is forcing and that is occupying Palestinian land in Israel. Unfortunately, she's building settlements. She's building settlements in the West Bank, where they're not supposed to, because the West Bank is supposed to be the territory of the Palestinians according to the demarcation of 1948 when Israel was first established. So she's part of that, and she's actually coming in, occupying people's homes and taking them out by force. And the government of Israel knows about this, and they agree. That's what she said to you. Even Netanyahu himself, he knows. He cannot act like I do publicly because it's going to show him he's doing something very terrible. So I do what governments can't do for themselves. Those are her exact words. Dumelang, good afternoon, good evening. How are you, wherever you are? Thanks so much for taking your time and your data to come and be with me today, right here on Kgosietsile, the Kgosietsile live show, coming to you live on www.kgosifm.co.za, recorded live, yes, in Kgosi FM studios. You can see the background here. It shows Kgosi FM studios right here in Pretoria West, in Danville, in Pretoria, in South Africa, for those who are outside this country. My name is Segongane, and I will be your host for today. So I don't know how many of you have seen Piers Morgan shows, Piers Morgan Live. It used to be Piers Morgan Uncensored before, but it's still Piers Morgan Uncensored now, and I think he went independent. He is no longer under was it One TV or that Rupert Murdoch, another, yeah. He was under that, but then I think he got fired, and then he's now independent, doing his own show. So he was once a very pro-Israeli and a very was always condemning Hamas and asking us if we condemn Hamas. Whenever he runs out of questions, he'll ask, "Do you condemn Hamas? Do you think what happened on October 7th was a genocide?" Just because he could not admit that, what these people are doing is fucked up. Sorry about that, but hey, that's how it is. This is uncensored anyway, so we're going to say those words. Well, but we're going to say those words. So yeah, now Piers Morgan, he has changed sides, and he has come to our side. If you guys have actually seen, I've been covering the Gaza thing for a very long time, and yesterday we have a live show where we are discussing the Gaza and the Gaza situation, what's happening in the Middle East, with one of the pastors around. Because I've seen pastors telling people to pray for Israel and telling people to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. I'm like, which peace? Because they are those who are actually starting wars in Jerusalem. So how can we pray for warmongers? People actually killing kids, bombing little children, destroying infrastructure. 98% of Gaza, guys, it's gone. 98% of Gaza is gone. Like, there is nothing left. If you are fighting an enemy, but you destroy each and everything in your wake, you are lying. You're not fighting any enemy. You actually are doing what you call ethnic cleansing. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what is. So today we're going to be talking about one of his videos, Piers Morgan. one of his videos. That's the one on the screen now. We're going to be reviewing that. We're going to be reacting to that, actually. Reacting to that video, but only the part of Daniela Weiss, because the others is Smoothly and Cheng arguing again. And yeah, that one is something else. Smoothly is an evil little nonsense. He calls himself a rabbi, but his kid has an online porn store where she and his own child, they actually model those things. They sell butt plugs, they sell dildos, they sell all the. He's a rabbi. Okay, it's supposed to be holy. But yeah, hey, story for another day. So that we are going to be doing that review of that video right now. But before we can go there, we're going to go and talk to my sponsor. And then after talking to my sponsor, then we can be able to continue this video. So please don't go away. Stay with us here on Kgosi FM and on the Kgosi's Own Live Show. And please like, subscribe, share, and comment on what you are saying now. If what I'm saying now doesn't resonate with you, it's beautiful, but just click like and just share and then subscribe, then don't comment, it's fine. But if this actually resonates with you, please tell me what you think down on the comments below. I'll be back just after this. This show is brought to you by Segongane Medical Services and Clinic. They are a private clinic situated in number 70 Kgosietsile in Westview, Danville. They specialize on the following: primary health care, ailment diagnosis and treatment, including medication, wound care, family planning, well baby clinic, basic ultrasound, laboratory blood services, treatment of chronic illnesses, treatment and management of patients on ARVs, wellness screening, antenatal clinic, HIV services and counseling. They have a pharmacy on site and they are doing CCMDD services as well, OHS clinic, circumcision clinic and abortion services. Their cell phone number is 064 548 7176 or 071 422 8576. Again, the address is 70 in Westview, Pretoria West in Danville. Cell phone number again is 064 548 7176 or 071 422 8576. That is our sponsor for today, Segongane Medical Services and Clinic. They don't take any medical aid. They only take cash, which is $350 consultation, and their medication is very much separated. That means you've got the power to choose whether you want to spend any money on a medication or not, or you wanna pay on $350. Maybe get a doctor's note if there's a need and if there's a reason for you to get a doctor's note, and just go home and maybe use your own message you just buy that you bought for yourself. So there's no obligation to buy medication from them, even though they do have a pharmacy on site. But remember, it's up to you, because we give you the freedom to say no, either you take it or you don't take it. So consultation fee is only $350. Like I said, flexible medication if you need so. Yeah, instead of you paying $750 and then $750 rent, and then you just get Panado and Allergics. Those two things can cost you up to $50 at the most. But then at least if you come there and you pay $350, if you get those two things, you could have paid another $50 and it's only for the rent. So their thing is more flexible and gives you that freedom and that money back in your pocket again, instead of spending an arm and a leg at the doctor's rooms. Yeah. So Pachakele, 72 Fengos region Westview, Pretoria West in Danville. All right. Okay, so I was saying, today we're going to be reviewing and reacting to a video that Piers Morgan did. Interview that he did with this evil woman called Daniela Weiss. This woman is really a piece of work, and to be honest with you, she's an epitome of evil. Somebody who's evil like this one. I don't know how she sleeps at night. She used to be a mayor of some town down there in Israel. When I look at her Wikipedia page, they are lying. They are saying she was born in Israel in 1945. I'm like, there was no Israel in 1945. Israel became a state in 1948. So she's a settler herself. Settlers are those Jews that come from Europe and anywhere else in the world. They've got dual citizenship. They've got the citizenship for Israel and citizenship for any other country in the world. Even that, we've got a lot of them here in South Africa. There is this Jewish body in Cape Town that is always against whatever the government is doing. Those white people, they call themselves Jews, but yeah. So anyhow, she's a settler herself. She settled from whatever country she's from, but in her Wikipedia page, she lies and says she was born in Israel in 1945. But Israel was not there in 1945. Israel was established as a state in 1948. Yeah, so That's just put it in your head and tell me that that's the kind of person you're going to be talking about today. So this woman, like I said, she has established an organization called the Hala. That organization is forcing their way into Palestinian land. They are forcing their way into Palestinian land. They are taking over Palestinian homes. She's resettling, and she's doing this in the knowledge of the Israel government. So they do know what she's doing, but don't stop her because she's doing their dirty work. She said herself in that video, if you hear the words that she said in the beginning of this video, she said, no. Netanyahu himself, he knows what we are doing, and he will never do this, but publicly he will say it's unrealistic. But he's happy of what we are doing. So this is the woman. This one here. This one. Yeah, sorry. That one. The face of evil. Epitome of evil. So, like I said, she was under interview with Piers Morgan Uncensored. That's Piers Morgan on the screen. This man used to be so pro-Israel. I don't know what happened to him, but she's like, now I can't anymore. Now they're actually his enemy nowadays. So we're going to review this video of his with this woman. We're going to stop along the way, obviously, and just, talk and analyze about what we think. So please, what you think as well, comment below. The thing is, in South Africa, I'm in South Africa myself now, Pretoria, right? Like the news, or like of the world, we know that our country is having an ICJ case against Israel, genocide case in the ICJ now, as we speak. It's not up to you to say, okay, I'm going to decide if I'm going to do this. Kids are dying every single day. Where's your humanity? Where's your humanity? Where's your Christian humanity? Because I've seen Christians praying for these people. We are praying for Israel. We are praying, let's go pilgrimage. I've seen politicians of this country, Mr. Mesho himself, Reverend Mesho, and a whole reverend, taking his followers to Israel to go pray with Israelites. They don't even want Christians. They spit on Christians. They don't want Christians. They are calling Christians names. But then we see people moving from here to that country to go pray just because they are so scared. We are seeing pastors in this country who cannot even discuss Israel issues because they are so scared. They think that maybe they'll be offending God by talking about these white people who says they are Jewish, whereas they are not. The Bible itself has never said these people are Jews. That was, and then when they give their reasons, they say, no. The Bible says we must bless Israel. No. The Bible God was talking to Abraham alone, and I've covered this in my previous shows. God spoke to Abraham alone. He didn't speak to the whole nation. There was no Israel that time. There was no Jew that time. There was no Israel that time. There was Hebrews. He spoke to one man. He never spoke to the whole of nation of Israel. The so-called Israel. And the one that is bombing the kids now, killing all the starving children, killing people, killing kids, killing women, killing everything else, and say they are fighting Hamas. They are not. Hamas might be underground, but they are bombing where innocent people are staying. How's that logic? And the world is watching. Oh my God, look what's happening. Oh yeah, this is not right. Oh, come on guys, this is not supposed to. Oh my. But they're doing zero. They're doing nothing about it. At least our country, South Africa, has taken this thing up to The Hague to say, listen, we cannot let this happen anymore. And America is sanctioning us because of that, because Donald Trump is just a little puppet of Netanyahu. He's a dog on a leash. This guy goes there and tells them nonsense. Then the whole Congress stands up. How do you applaud a mass murderer? How do you applaud somebody who orders a 2,000-pound bomb to be dropped on civilians, on little children? How do you what is your justification? And then you say to me, the Bible says to you, you must pray for these people, you must support them. Give me the verse that says you must support this genocidal nation called Israel. Even if God will come now to me and says here in front of me, say, ain't that? Tell me, when did you say I must support a killer? Show me a verse in your own Bible that says I must support a killer. Then I will change and I will go to Israel and become one of the IDF soldiers today. If they'll accept me because I'm black, they will never accept me because they want to keep this Jewish thing white. Another fake. You see? So you cannot ask yourself, why are people so afraid? And why are our pastors so afraid? because they are cowards, because they cannot stand for the truth, they cannot stand for human rights, they cannot stand for anything, and then they cover themselves with the Bible. Oh, the Bible says, the Bible never said support Israel. Show me a verse now. Send it to me on the comments below. Tell me, where does the Bible say I must support Israel? Then I will support it from today. And I will change everything. I will stop talking about this thing. Like you're gonna see for yourself as well what this woman is saying. How is she saying it? What is she saying? You'll just hear the arrogance, the ungodly. I mean, she's supposed to be the so-called God's chosen people, right? They are supposed to be God's chosen. But you just hear the evil in her voice, and then you tell me, what do you think? All right. So I'm gonna go to that video right now, and then I would like you guys to please comment and tell me what you think down below. All right. And then like I said, we're going to be stopping this video as it goes, and then we're going to be reviewing it as it goes. Take a listen.
Conspiracies and anti-Semitism claims at the heart of the Epstein Files debate. We'll begin by talking to Daniela Weiss, who you just saw in that Louis Theroux clip, the leader of the settler group Nahala. Well, welcome to you, Daniela Weiss. Thank you for joining me on Uncensored. Let me start by asking you, Mrs. Weiss, you're known as the godmother of the Israeli settler movement. Is your ultimate ambition for all Palestinians to be removed from the West Bank and Gaza?
You ask if it's my what I want. It's not ambition. Ambition I put into positive things. I mean, when people have to move from one place to another, it's not a question of ambition. I think there is no choice now, especially after the massacre of the 7th of October. The Gazans finished their chapter of history in Gaza, and they...
Just there. There was no massacre of the 7th of October. 1,200 people died, and 800 of those people were killed by their own IDF soldiers. Okay? They applied the Hannibal directive that says if a soldier is captured, you shoot everything in sight. Rather, we lose a soldier than have the enemy have capture, have a hostage. So there was no massacre in October 7th. It was killing. The massacre is what is happening today in Gaza. Compare 1,002 people dying, and then compare already now 60,000 people who are dying. Most of those 60,000 are young children. So them trying to blanket always running after October 7th, it's really getting old. It's actually old already, because it's not justification of you leveling 98% of a place of people that they stay. Why do you target residential buildings? And then their justification is, no, because Hamas hides amongst the population. Did you even go and check if Hamas is in those buildings? Or you just bomb because you actually, the whole point is to destroy the whole of Gaza. It's never about Hamas that is hiding behind, in civilian population and whatnot. It's about you carpet bombing everybody and killing everybody, and doesn't even care that you are annihilating the future generations of Palestinians. Do you think that by doing that, you're going to erase everybody, and then you think that there won't be another Hamas? Because kids are crying now, parentless, starving to death. Some of them who will survive, they will become radical. And that does not increase your security, by the way. It does not. So this whole thing of them running all over the place about, no, October 7th, this October 7th. October 7th, the Hannibal directive was employed by the army to shoot everything on sight. Most of the people who died on that day, they were killed by their own soldiers. They were never killed by Hamas people. Yes, Hamas took 250 people hostages, but 200 of them already been released. 50 only living into slave there as leverage. You understand what I'm saying? As leverage. I mean, if you are living in a concentration camp yourself, you are living in an open air prison, and then the only leverage that you have is something. You're gonna hold on to something and say, listen, either you free me or you're not gonna get this back. So, she's always, no, like October 7th. October 7th, it's when the prisoners broke out of prison and took revenge. But unfortunately, they didn't kill 1,002 people, okay? They killed some. The rest was killed by their own IDF soldiers, because of the Hannibal directive. That directive that says, shoot everything on sight, rather we kill everybody than let others have hostages. So it's a lie. Okay? It's a lie. Let's continue.
We'll have the terrorists themselves will be killed in the attacks of the Israeli army, of Tzahal, and those who support them will have to go to emigrate to other countries, and I think it.
Yeah, if this was about hostages and it's about Hamas, why then should other people immigrate to other countries? That is an explanation of, that is the meaning of ethnic cleansing. She just gave out the plan of why they are taking Gaza, right? Those who support them will have to go to other countries. Who supports Hamas? Who supports Hamas? Are those young kids who are starving at the moment supporting Hamas? You understand what I'm saying? Are they supporting Hamas? Are they a young child, a toddler, a baby in the incubator, the baby inside the mother's belly, the pregnant women, kids, are they supporting Hamas? So if you are saying, no, they're going to have to move to other countries, that is exactly what you guys are doing, and that is exactly what we call ethnic cleansing. That is the whole plan. That is why you are bombing Gaza. Like, you're not doing this because you want to kill all Hamas. You want to erase Gaza from the map and make it Israel again. By the way, they left that strip of land in 2005 because they were forced to leave. They were forced to leave because of they cannot be occupying that place forever. So they were forced to leave that piece of land in 2005, and then they had to demarcate it and make sure that they control everything from water to electricity to food to internet, anything. I mean, imagine we are staying in a so-called country, but the other country, let's say Lesotho, we take over Lesotho, we build a wall around Lesotho, and then we control all the borders of Lesotho. They're inside there. And we control the water that goes inside Lesotho. We control the electricity that goes into Lesotho. We control the internet. We control the food that goes into Lesotho. That is not a country. That is not independence. And you say, but we left you, came to South Africa. It doesn't mean nothing because first and foremost, you are controlling everything that goes in there. I mean, on October 8, one of the ministers, I just forgot his name. He said, switch off everything. Switch off the water, switch off the electricity, switch off the internet, switch off everything. Let them starve in there because we control the borders. Remember, Gaza is like on the beach, right? So they've built a wall around Gaza, and the only independent border is with Egypt. The rest is controlled by them. So these guys can't even run into the sea because they control the sea as well. They don't have any ships. They don't have any harbor. They've got nothing. They're just sitting there, cramped like sardines inside a little tin. So from there, they're like, no, but we left you alone and we came back to Israel. But you didn't leave them. You left them, but you still control how they live their lives. So how do you expect everything else to happen? See? So the whole plan is never about Hamas being defeated. The whole plan is about ethnic cleansing, killing every Arab. That is their cousins, by the way. They forget that Arabs are from Ishmael, who is the son of Abraham. The one that they are always preaching about Abraham, blessings are mine, blah, blah. You curse Abraham. He is his son. They are your cousins. And I just want to understand one thing. How did Abraham have two kids? A white one and an Indian one? That'll be the question. You see? That'll be the question for another day.
As far as people who want to live normal life, I think the option to go to other countries in the world is a good option. But it's not a question of ambition. I have an ambition to settle Jews all over the vast areas of the land that was given by God to the Jewish nation.
Yeah, that's another kicker. The land that was given to God, to the Jewish nation. Which land is that? Let's go back. They left Egypt in the Bible, right? They settled in a city called Jericho, according to the very same Bible. They didn't go as far as Gaza. They didn't go as far as where, all these. They went into a city and they settled there. So I don't know which land is this evil person talking about. I don't know. If you can just track the history of these people, right? Those who were in the Middle East, the real ones, not these white people from Europe who come then say they're Jews. They've been destroyed over and over and over and over and over again. The last destruction was in 70 AD by the Romans, when the Romans took over everything and destroyed that place. And they ran the whole world. They stayed away there for 2,000 years. And they come back and say, oh, this is the land I was promised to by God. 2,000 years. Like 2,000 years. Who is still pure Semitic? That's why they banned DNA testing in Israel. Because they know that they're never pure again. And it's amazing to see Europeans in the Middle East. Every country there is Arab looking, it's Indian looking. If you take an Indian man from India, and you take one from Afghanistan, you take one from Iraq, you take one from Iran, you take one from Palestine, you put them all there. They all look the same. It's the same as you can take me, you take a Nigerian, you take a Zimbabwean, you take whatever. We're all black men. But then this group of white people comes and say, oh, we are Jews, this is our land. So Abraham had two sons, the one who was white like them, and then the other one who was Ishmael, who was Arab looking. Wow. You see? So you kind of ask yourself, are we dealing with human animals like they are calling Palestinians, or are we dealing with human beings? Because now I think we are dealing with the most savage animals we can ever find. The most savage. Because you cannot do this with a straight face and then still sleep at night and say everything is fine. It can be. What do you think? Tell me below.
So this is my ambition. And in the midst of things, with the attacks of Arabs in different periods of history, and especially I emphasize now the last attack, the last massacre on civilian population, that was the end of the history of the Gazans in Gaza.
But it
doesn't have to do with ambition.
Okay, there are 2 million people living in Gaza. Half of those people are under 18 years of age. More than 20,000 Gazan children have now been killed since October the 7th. My follow-up question is, how many of the innocent Gazans, how many of the Palestinian children do you think should come to, say, Israel and to be allowed to settle there?
To settle in Israel?
Yes.
Why?
Why? If you're going to tell them...
Because it's their land. That is why they'll come and settle there. You found them there. They occupy the whole of the Palestinian land. It's their land. That's why they will come and say, we want to settle here. And she's asking a stupid question. Why? Listen to this.
So
if you tell them to leave, because if you tell them to leave their home and you say that they should live in other countries, why would Israel not want to provide a home for them?
No. Because the conflict between Israel and the Gazans brought this chapter into its end. We don't take any chance anymore. Many soldiers told me, some of them from my own family, that they were witness to so much talk and propaganda against Israel. And I think that there shouldn't be anymore any touch, any connection with between the Gaza population and the Jewish state. Let them be in other countries. There's 100 million Egyptians in Egypt. So there will be another 500,000 Gazans in Egypt, and some will be in Indonesia.
Like, tell me something. How does someone say such a thing with a straight face? They'll go to other countries, So there's the whole plan. It's never about Hamas. It was never about Hamas. Let me do this camera. It was never about Hamas. So that is the whole plan of ethnically cleansing these people out. They're already talking about people going. I mean, if they're after Hamas, they should go into Gaza and get all the Hamas people, shoot them out, get them out, and then leave the Gazans alone. But no. They should go to other countries. There's 100 million Egyptians in Egypt, so there'll be another 100 million in Egypt. It's fine of the Gazans. So this is the whole plan of these people, to ethnically cleanse people from their own homes. Imagine if, especially these so-called pastors in this country that are busy saying we must pray for these people. I should go to Meshua's house one day and just get in there with a gun, and I remove him and his parent and his children to the garage. You know, if he's got a garage where he's putting his car, I take the car out and I say, you're gonna stay here from now on. And you're going to see me in your house every single day. And then I say to you, pray for me. And I say, this is my house from today. That's how you ethnically cleanse a person or a people. And this whole thing of it started in October 7th. There was a massacre of the Palestinians in October 6th. People don't know that because none of these big news organizations are actually telling people the same thing or the real thing. There was a huge massacre on October 6th of the Palestinians by the very same people. This war has been going on for 75 years. Ever since 1948 till today, they've been fighting for the land that it's never theirs. You can't live for 2 millennia, like for a whole 2,000 years. Then you come back and say, oh, I'm claiming this house again. Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? And then you bomb people and you close them up in a concentration camp. The very camps that Hitler put you in. Now here you are. You are doing the same thing to other people as well. You're doing exactly the same thing that Nazis did. Unfortunately. You are doing the same thing they did. And then you cry about, hey, what happened to us in Germany? Hey, what happened to us where? Hey, but here you are. You are doing exactly the same thing. This woman, this one, 75 years old, but still talks like a genocidal maniac. And then she thinks she's right. The arrogance of these people is disgusting, to say the least. It's disgusting. Yeah.
Okay, but what if
other countries?
Okay, but if I suggest that we carve out an area of Israel to put the Palestinians. We just slice off. Let me finish. We slice off an area of Israel, and all the Israelis who currently live there have to leave and go and live in another country. Are you happy about that? Would you be happy with that?
You have some. You have some psychological need to slice pieces of the tiny state of Israel?
No, I'm just saying.
What's this need?
Listen, Gaza, as you know, well, hang on, let me finish. Gaza, as you know, is a very small territory. I'm talking about a similar sized territory.
Is what? Gaza is what?
I'm talking about, it's a very small territory.
Gaza is what?
Gaza is very small.
And I know.
So I'm talking about taking
Indonesia.
I'm talking about
Africa
taking.
Is big.
Let me finish. I'm talking about taking the Gazan people, the innocent Gazan people, not Hamas, but innocent Gazan people. And I'm talking about taking a piece of Israel and removing all the Israelis who currently live there and sending them off to other countries. And then you put the Palestinian people in that space in Israel. How would you feel about that?
It's not a question of feel. It's not going to happen.
Right. Why would that be wrong? Why would that be wrong, Mrs. Weiss? Why would that be wrong?
Because it failed. We left Gaza in 2005, and we were promised that Gaza will be Singapore. And I didn't believe.
I don't know where they get this thing of Singapore. Like, okay. Yeah. P.S. Morgan is asking her a very good question. Why would that be wrong if it happens like that? Why would that be wrong? You know, and she now jumps to they left Gaza in 2005. Like I told you earlier, they didn't leave Gaza in 2005. Because even if they did leave Gaza, they demarcated a whole wall. Guys, like they built a wall. You know, we have borders in every country, but it's fences, and they built a literal wall with all checkpoints or borders where their military is patrolling every single day. The only independent border is with Egypt because Egypt controls it and the Gazans control it on their side. And then from there is the sea, the Mediterranean Sea, right? So there's no way that the Gazans doesn't have. Okay, when she said they promised that it's going to be Singapore, fine. Singapore has got the harbors. Singapore has got an independent government. Singapore does not rely on another country for electricity, for water, for food, for everything else. They don't. Because Gaza, you can't even plant anything. Gaza is like you know the project in America? The projects in America. They're like that. They are like packed on top of each other. A very small piece of land with 2 million people inside. So whatever that Gaza has been, and they've been bombarding Gaza for 75 years up until today. So if she says they were promised that it will be Singapore, that's a lie. How then do they become Singapore if they still get controlled by another power or by another country? How is that possible? How do they become Singapore in that regard? You can't control people's electricity. You can't control people's land. I mean, not even land, water supply that you can just switch off on and on the way you like, and you say they must be Singapore. They can't even have an army. They can't even have police. They don't have anything. They don't. It's like just like a normal prison. People are inside prison. They're sitting there in prison. They're in prison. It's fine. Let them sit there. Some people, the chosen people of I don't know which God is that. These ones. They're chosen. So as a Christian watching this now, ask yourself for the pillar, which God are you praying to? Because you're praying to the God of these people, shame. You're going to hell if there's such a thing. I'm a believer. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. I hate the word Christian because it makes me want, it obliges me to help these people, to pray for these people. I hate the word Christian. It wasn't even there by the time of Jesus Christ and the apostles. It came after years with Paul. But that's true for another day.
In it, but many Israelis did believe in it. And it turned into hell. Upper hell.
It turned into hell because you made it hell. It turned to hell because you made it hell. Okay? You cannot keep someone, apartheid in this country failed. They thought they will rule us forever, these white people. It failed because you are not going to put your boot on someone's neck forever, unless it's the case of Australia or the case of New Zealand or Canada, or America, where you came and systematically erased the whole population that you find there. The whole indigenous people find that you erase them, you kill them, you do the same thing as what they're doing to Gaza today. Like what they did in America. These white people in America, they're from Britain. Christopher Columbus and everybody else white in there, they are British citizens. Learn your history. They are not indigenous of the USA. When they got there, they sterilized Indian women. They killed them. They gave them smallpox. They actually, really did a serious genocide on that country. And then they took the whole of America over. It's now their land. Australia, the same thing. Canada, the same thing. What is this? New Zealand, the same thing. Now they're doing the same thing for Gaza. Gaza is like, I don't know what size. I think it's from here to town. No, not 10 kilometers. It's small. It's small. It's like taking Lesotho. Lesotho is even big. Taking a territory like Gauteng, for example, this province I am today, the smallest province you have in this country, and you pack it with 50 million people on top of each other, and then you close them by a wall, and then you control what goes in there and what comes out. This is evil, Baheju. It's evil beyond anything. And you justify it by saying, God gave me the land. That's a lie. God never gave you that land. God gave the Hebrews that land. He never gave it to you. And never gave white people in Europe to come and now, after 2,000 years, you come with a diluted DNA and you say you're still a Jew? Jesus. And when you speak, We are called names. Oh, anti-Semite. Oh, this Jew hater. Oh, Hamas supporter. It's fine. Let me be all those things for the truth's sake. For the truth's sake. They can't even accept anybody of any other color to be a Jew or to come there and stay in Israel. They killed a black boy who was an IDF soldier. A black Jewish Ethiopian boy. They murdered him just because he was black. But he was wearing the whole IDF uniform. He was part of the soldiers there. Meaning he was a citizen of Israel. And he was a Jew. And because they want to keep this thing white like she is, that is why. They killed him. Imagine, they killed him. Just because of that.
Down, lower hell. And I think no more experiments. We are not a laboratory. We are a nation that wants to live in the land that was given to us, to the Jews, by God.
But you
This is
actually,
what
but
want.
you
The Arabs, the Gazans don't want it.
Yeah, but
so I don't want to be an experiment, a laboratory with experiments on the Jewish people.
no. So you've made it clear. You think it will
I
be.
answer you very. I want to tell you, what is your private name? Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about too.
My name.
What is your name? I want to address you.
My name is Piers
Yes.
Morgan. Yeah.
Morgan?
See-
Can I address you, Morgan?
You can call me what you like. My name is Piers Morgan. What are the fruit you eat to stay healthy is actually making you fat? According to heart surgeon and uncensored sponsor.
The arrogance of these people doesn't even know who's interviewing her. Like, how do you not know who's interviewing you? Yeah.
So I want to tell you, you want to proceed with an intelligent dialogue, or you are the interviewer and answering. Let's continue. But if you want to repeat this experiment of putting Gazans in Israel, the answer is simple. It will never be.
No, I heard you. I heard you. I just wonder.
So much.
Okay. I just wonder.
Okay.
Hang on. I just want to give you a question. I just wonder. Obviously, you're outraged by the idea of Palestinian people taking the place of Israelis in Israel, and I understand that. But what gives you the right to then tell Palestinian people, innocent people, children, who've had nothing to do with Hamas, what gives you the right to
Because they attacked us.
Let me finish. To uproot those people from their homes and expel them in what would be ethnic cleansing, which is a war crime, as you know.
They attacked Israel on the 7th of October.
Yeah.
They massacred Jews.
Did the children do that? Did the Gazans do that? Did the Palestinians, or it was Hamas?
On the 7th of October, after we evacuated Gaza for the benefit. What is not clear in what I say?
Well, what is not clear is that you have also, in going after Hamas in Gaza, massacred between 70 and 100,000 Palestinians. And at what point does that become disproportionate? At what point does the fact that you won't, that the Israeli government continues to prosecute this war in a way that kills so many children, does this become something which is completely unacceptable?
Okay, not acceptable. So it's a fact. If they had not, you say that it is not acceptable. I understand that it's not acceptable by you. I think that if the Gazans hadn't started, the Hamas hadn't started the attack, there wouldn't have been a war, and the
war has been going on for 75 years, you old witch. The war has been going on since 1948, when you people came there and get welcomed by the very innocent people to say, actually, let's live all live together. But then you started, you came there as refugees from Germany and other European countries after World War II. You came there as refugees. And then they like these Gazans, that you call them Gazans, the Palestinians, they welcomed you with open arms. Then you start bombing them and chasing them out of their villages, out of their homes, until they are in that little piece of land called Gaza. I thought maybe witches were like, witches are supposed to be green, having green faces and those crooked nose, but she's got a nose. That crooked noses and shit. Look at this person. The arrogance in these people's eyes. My God. And then you talk about people, the Palestinians didn't attack you on October 7th. Those kids that have been dying of hunger now, they never came over the fence to attack you. Hamas did. Go after Hamas. It's the same as this country. They will say to us, no, ANC bombed. Remember, there was a Operation Maibuye in this country where they were where ANC was targeting strategic infrastructure like the power lines and the railway lines and whatnot to cripple the economy. Now imagine if these people are saying like just because ANC did that, and they say all black people did that and they just bombed everyone. It's the same thing happening now. The same thing happening now. The ANC is the ANC. Go after ANC. Don't go after everybody else. Hamas is Hamas. Go after Hamas. Don't go after everybody else. And then you say they attacked. They didn't. That no one in Gaza attacked you in October 7th. No one did that. No one did that. But Hamas did.
We, for instance, as people who were evacuated from Gaza, in the past 20 years, I must say it's kind of an unpleasant confession for me, but this is the truth of the matter, that we haven't dealt with the idea of returning to Gaza, returning to our homes, because we said, okay, there was a contract, we gave it away, we didn't want it to happen, it happened, and that's it. The gates closed.
Yeah, but here's the thing, here's the problem, Daniela. You have no right, Israel has no right to just take Gaza, to just take the West Bank, to expel
we didn't take Gaza.
To expel 8-9 million Palestinians. You have no right to do this. You have had no right to occupy Gaza for the last God knows how long. Where do you think you have this right to do all this? You're furious at the idea of any part of Israel being given up for Palestinians. Fine. Okay. But why would you then think it's fine for you to take over Gaza and the West Bank?
May I ask you, why do you repeat the same question 3 times? You know, I don't see your face, so it's a kind of difficult without the gestures. So
well, let me simplify it for you. What gives you the right?
What do you say?
What gives you the right to think that you can expel millions and millions of Palestinians?
Look here, I don't know if the viewers, the people who see your program, have the patience for a historical summary. As the State of Israel was established in 1948, 3 days after the Holocaust, and 3 years after the Holocaust, and 2,000 years after the dispersion, after the Romans dispersed the Jewish nation. And then somehow there is an ingathering of the Jews in the land of Israel, the biblical land. And the biblical land that we hold to now is very tiny. We tried, according to the partition plan first, to be satisfied with a tiny, tiny piece of land where we have independence. And then when we were small, I would say tiny, and even without Jerusalem, we tried to manage a Jewish independence in the biblical state of Israel, and we were prevented from living this way. I was born before the state of Israel, so I know all this history from my own flesh and blood and my own family, and my father wounded in the War of Independence. So we tried to live in a tiny land, and the Arabs didn't let us live. So then there was the 6-Day War,
And where I live now was liberated. I say liberated because it's the heart of our homeland in the 6-Day War.
What do you expect them to do? You invaded their land. You came and took over their homes and their land and their farms and orchards and everything else and pushed them into a place where they can't even grow anything. There would be a war. You know, what I like about this so-called history that you say, 2,000 years after the Romans dispersed us, how the hell do you come? Do you really think if maybe, let's say, by some miracle, we leave South Africa as black people, all of us, we go and we stay in, let's say, Botswana or Uganda, and then other people comes and stay here, and we have the right to come and say, hey, 2,000 years later, we want our land back? No. No, you've been gone for 2,000 years. Not 200 years, 2,000 years. And he speaks about the biblical land of Israel. Which biblical land is he talking about? Seriously? Yeah, that might be. Ne? That might be. But they are not the biblical Jews. They are not the biblical Jews. This woman and Piers Morgan looks the same. They are all white. They are all Europeans. You know what I like about this whole thing? And I always ask this question. Are you saying that we used to own white slaves in Egypt? Because Egypt was black before the Arabs took over, before the Arabs invaded North Africa and took over from Algeria to Tunisia to all these other Muslim countries that are Arab, bo Morocco, bo Algeria, bo Gaddafi. Up until Libya, up until they get to Egypt, they occupied that north part of the whole of Africa, and they pushed the blacks down to Mali, Nigeria, and the rest of them. Okay, now are you saying that we used to own white slaves? Because this woman is white. Like, this woman is white. She's European, for goodness sake. She's white. Was Jacob white when he went there? Was Jacob white, guys? Let's go back to the Bible a little bit and just ask this question. The two sons of Isaac was Jacob and Esau, right? Esau was red. The Bible says Esau was red and very hairy. If you look at the white person today, they are red and they are hairy. And Jacob was smooth and smooth. Esau used to hunt, like he likes the bush. Jacob was always in the house. Domesticated person, always in the house, taking care of everything around. If we can compare that to today, I mean, really. Now, Jacob went to Egypt. He's the father. He came to Israel. He's the father of the Jews. Yeah, I will say that. He's the father of the Jews. Now, he went to Egypt and he became a slave for 4 centuries, and he left with 2 million people. No, Moses left with 2 million people. Now, we're saying that white people, Esau, and like white people, did they even go to Egypt and became our slaves? Or, let's say, for argument's sake, Egypt was Arab, right? Did they go back? Did they go, this white person, did they go and became slaves to Arab people for 4 centuries? I mean, she knows the history, right? She claims she knows the history, but she doesn't even know that one.
And since then, we try to live peacefully, and the Arabs don't let us. So how can you try to change facts? Now, you gave me a chance to relate a tiny summary of history. If you have another way to put it, please go ahead.
Okay, I'll put it this way. I'll put it this way.
I am a guest.
Let me put it this way. The UK government has sanctioned you personally in May of this year. You were described as having been involved in threatening, perpetrating, promoting and supporting acts of aggression and violence against Palestinian individuals. You have been described as the head of extremist settlers. The vast majority of the international community, including the United Kingdom, consider the settlement illegal under international law. Last year, the UN's top court, the International Court of Justice, said that Israel's occupation of Palestinian territories is against international law, and Israel should stop settlement activity in the occupied West Bank and East Jerusalem and end its illegal occupation of those areas and the Gaza Strip as soon as possible. So that's a bit of history for you, which is that you have been seen as the godmother of Israeli extremists who believe that you have a right to all this land, you have a right to settle where you want to, you have a right to expel all the Palestinians and to take over their land. And I say to you that actually, under international law, you do not have that right. It's actually a crime, what you're doing. And you should stop doing it. So that's my question. My question for you is, why do you continue to break the law?
I don't know. You present things in a very journalistic way, so I don't know.
Well, they're facts.
You say, do it.
Everything I just read you is a fact.
Yes. What facts? What facts?
I just read you the facts. I can read them again if you didn't hear them.
Morgan, listen to this. I never hide what I do. I am being interviewed by you and by everyday media people come to this home and to the hills where I establish communities. And I tell what I think and what I do and what I plan. So if there is anything in what is so openly exposed that can be considered illegal.
Well, you're committing war crimes.
What is illegal in what I do?
You're committing war crimes.
Why? So you're speaking to me now.
Yeah.
You're giving so much time in your program to a person who commits war crimes.
Yeah.
Why do you do it?
I'm holding you to account.
What's the sense?
I'm holding you to account for your war crimes. I'm telling you should stop your war crimes. I'm telling you, you have no right to displace millions of Palestinians and kick them out of their homes. You don't have that right.
Morgan, you hope that through your program you will enhance the chance that I will be put to trial? Is this why you're...
You should be put to trial, you witch. You should be put to trial. The arrogance, if only there was justice in this world, this one would be arrested by now. And she'll be in jail today. And she'll be in The Hague for a crime against humanity. Herself, she's a crime against humanity. She should be in jail today. I wonder if because I've seen that if she's married or what, and she's got kids. But the way she is, no. It's not about the loud, the strong words, but she is a witch. Because anybody who's cold-blooded will speak like that. But anybody who's actually a human being will never speak like this. But anybody who's not a human being will speak like that. Do you think that by putting me on your program, I'll be... Because they know that America's got their back, their country, the world is so scared of saying anything about these people because they think that God will punish them. I'm speaking against them now because my God, Jesus Christ himself, will never. He came and called them a pit of vipers. He called them a pit of vipers, the son of Satan himself. He called them that. That's why they killed him.
You give me so much time in your program?
Yeah, I think ultimately you should face a trial, yeah.
Yeah. She should face a trial. She should face a trial. Because what she's doing is not supposed to be done. She should face a trial. Yeah. But is she ever going to face a trial? We have no idea. We'll have to say, we'll wait and see.
Okay. What shall I tell you? I don't think it's not on my part to cooperate with a person if you want to do what you said, if I heard you well in the beginning of this program, that you want to give a chance for different people to express their views.
Sure.
This is journalistic. This is respectable.
No, I've heard your views. I just don't agree with them. I've heard your views.
But then you
I don't agree with your views.
You want to enhance the chance that I will be put to trial? Well, I am not sure this is journalistic, but I'm with you in your hands now until this interview is finished.
I noticed
that's your decision.
I noticed that so far you haven't referred to the people of Gaza or the West Bank as Palestinians. Do you believe they're called Palestinians?
Palestine was given by Adrian, the emperor of Rome, who wanted to obliterate, to put an end to the Jewish existence in the world. So he gave a peculiar name to Jerusalem, Ilia Capitolina, and Israel, Palestina. And he tried very hard. And indeed, we were dispersed. And somehow, after so many years and so much persecution, we returned. And we are a successful nation.
Are they Palestinians?
So why should I support the distorted idea of Adrian, who failed? And now, after the revival of the Jewish state, Arabs from different countries come here and want to enjoy the treasures.
They didn't come here, you found them there. Learn your history. They didn't come to Palestine. You found them staying there. Already established. You're living there for 2,000 years. You found them there.
I would say most of them are spiritual, but the treasures of the Holy Land.
Right, but just to be clear, you don't believe they're Palestinians.
The Jewish success.
You will not refer to them as Palestinians, right?
I think that Palestinians were invented by Adrian, and that the Arabs that come to Israel today want to get for themselves the success of the Jewish state that was created here after many years of dispersion.
Okay, and Mrs. Weiss, how do you feel about the fact that over 20,000 Palestinian children have now been killed since October the 7th in Gaza?
I think that the Palestinians, as you said, I said Palestinians, the Gazans and all Arabs around should stop attacking Israel.
Right, I just asked you how you thought about 20,000 children being killed by the...
When did Palestinians attack Israel? Guys, when did the Arabs attack Israel? Because it's Hamas and Hezbollah and all these groups that are doing that. Not everybody else on the streets that is carrying a weapon or carrying something to destroy these people. And the question was, how do you feel that 20,000 kids were killed? And the answer is that. And she's going to say they should stop training their children. If you can see other videos of what they teach their kids in school, you'll be shocked. You will be shocked to see what they teach their kids in school about the very Arabs. These people are evil. These people are evil. No, I think the H guy, had a plan. He knew what he was doing. We just, interrupted him. I think everybody else actually knew what these people were, how they were. And there's nothing special about that. There's nothing godly about that, about you being a menace and you just being a parasite and you just being, this thing that wherever you are, you go, man, there should be something destructive happening. There's nothing godly about that. There's nothing godly, there's nothing bless God about that, like that, because their success is on top of people's misery. Their success on people's dead bodies and people's tears. When they come to a community, they establish a whole gated community. They've got everything in there for themselves. They close themselves off. They've got their own schools. They've got their own everything's around them. No one can partake. And then they make other people outside there starve. That's not godly. That's not a blessing. That's not a success. Your success is everybody. The Bible says, I will bless those who bless you. And all nations of the world will be blessed through you. That was Abraham. These ones, they don't bless anybody. They want to be blessed by themselves. And there was no success that they did without the American help. That's a lie. That's a lie.
The IDF. So how do you feel about that?
I think that the parents should be very careful before they teach the children to hate Jews and to kill Jews.
No, that wasn't my question. That wasn't my question. Sorry to be persistent, but my question...
That was your question.
My question was, how do you feel?
Answer.
My question was, how do you feel? How do you personally feel about over 20,000 Palestinian children now being killed since October the 7th in Gaza? How do you feel about that?
I think
She doesn't give a damn, man. She doesn't care. He's just an Arab child. I mean, who cares about an Arab? Arabs are nothing about animals, most of these people. It's the same as what we went through as blacks. We are nothing to these white Europeans, black animals. We are put in zoos. There was an animal human zoo in Belgium where they will put us in cages, like they put monkeys and lions and stuff, and there people will come and watch and see this black person. Oh my God. I mean, I've got 2 legs and 2 arms and a mouth and a nose and everything like you, except my hair is not the same as yours and my skin color. But then you come and watch me as an exotic animal. So these people don't care about Arabs. They don't. For them, Arabs are nothing. They're not human beings. Hence, he's saying, he can't even answer that question. How do you feel? Like, do you feel anything that a child has been bombed, lost their limb, killed, sprayed phosphorus? It's like acid. No, they should tell their kids, they should not teach their kids to hate Jews. Why do you think they say they must hate? Because they know that you guys came there and took over everything. So I will tell my kids, in South Africa here, we had apartheid. Okay? I'm going to tell my kids the truth about that system, what happened. Or they hate white people, that will be the decision. You can't come in my country and put a boot on my neck. When I finally get free, you say, don't tell your child what I did. I'm going to tell them what you did. Listen, I used to stay there. They took my house and give it to this person. The hate was started by you, not by me. The hate, the whatever, was started by you.
I think that Arabs, Gazans or Jordanians or Syrians, whoever, should be very, very careful with the way they educate the children.
Yeah, that wasn't my question.
Now,
that wasn't my question.
Many of them,
Can you answer my question?
Answer. That was my answer.
So you don't
to
care?
Your question.
You have no thoughts about these children at all?
You choose your questions, and I answer them
of course.
The way I believe is right.
But just to be clear, you have nothing to say about 20,000 children being killed. Nothing at all.
I have a lot to say about everything that happened as a result of the massacre of the 7th of October.
I understand you care about Israeli
Arabs
children who
Gazans
died, as do I. But I'm able to care about both sides of children who've died. Why don't you care, seemingly, about the Palestinian children who've died? Why can't you express any sympathy or sorrow or empathy with the children who've died in Gaza? Are you able to do that?
I warn all Arabs from all sides, from all borders, warn them, stop educating children to hate
So just to be clear, I've now offered you three times.
I made myself very clear.
Oh, you've made yourself very clear.
You asked me 5 times.
I'm going to give you one last...
You asked me 7 times.
Okay, I'm going to give you one last chance to offer some empathy or sympathy or sorrow about the deaths of 20,000 children in Gaza. Are you capable of doing that?
I can tell you that had you cared, and I don't believe you that you care a tiny bit about one killed person, if you do not use the means that you have as a media person to stop educating children.
I gave you 4 chances.
Jews. Okay, you gave me 7. You gave me 7.
And you know what? You couldn't give a damn, could you?
That you are to blame more than me.
You don't care. And all you want is all the Palestinians gone. You can barely even bring yourself to say their name. All you want is to take over the West Bank and Gaza. You don't care how many die in the process. You want them all gone. You don't care, do you? That's the bottom line.
As you said, the audience will judge.
Yeah, they will. Daniela Weiss, thank you very much for coming on Uncensored. I appreciate it.
Okay, maybe I should send this video to Ntate, right? Do you know why I always quote this man? Because he's the one who ran to Israel. Lem was my man, he was there. When he was the leader of the DA, this boy, Musliman, he went to Israel to speak with Netanyahu. I don't know on what capacity did he go there for. But he went to speak to Netanyahu. I don't know why. Maybe we should show these people, these evangelical Christians who think that God has still chosen these people as the so-called chosen nation. They should see this video and let them judge for themselves. Like, do you really want to be associated with this person? And you think it's like we are begging God to be our God because we're going to allow these ones to commit genocide and to commit mass murder. And we just, just because you're so afraid. That's why people are rejecting Christianity so much. If you can watch our show yesterday, the comments we got with the pastor who was here, they were heated somehow. Shame, I could feel for him that he's not, okay, because now when the time because people are rejecting this nonsense. Because we are not going to be held ransom by a group of refugees who came and was offered a place to stay. And then from there, he takes over and he spit on that hand that welcomed them. And he claims that no, it's 2,000 years. I wonder if the British government didn't do this establishment of this Jewish state, where will they be now? Will they be still wherever they were? Or where will they be now? What is happening in Gaza is inhuman, to say the least. Do you know how I feel about this? I feel like this. Do you know why I feel like this? Because we went through the same thing almost in this country. So it's not nice to see other people going through the same thing in their land, Yabone, where the very same laws of apartheid that was in this country to separate people are now practiced by the so-called chosen nation. The so-called chosen nation of God. It's a mockery that you can actually put God in your mouth and you say this land was promised to us by God. It's a mockery. It's disgusting. I don't care about these people. I care about those who call themselves Christians. Hence I say, now I hate the word Christian with everything, because I'm not a Christian. I'm a believer. I'm a disciple of Jesus Christ himself. I'm not a Christian. Because Christians, they are just cattle. They're just cattle, arrying. Cattle, you just direct them wherever you want them to go, they will go and follow you. Those are Christians. I'm a believer. I'm a disciple. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. The word Christian was not even there by the time of Jesus, even the apostles. It wasn't there. It came in Antioch by the time of Paul. And they were calling Paul that. And the word just spread. It became it was just an umbrella for us all. And now, the so-called pastors were supposed to know what's happening. No. We should pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Which one? They're the ones starting wars, bruh. They're the ones starting wars. How do we pray for that? So this is just a taste, guys, of what we have faced. And you not entertaining such news, saying that whenever you've got your own problems, in this country and whatever, and you just ignore the plight of other people dying. It doesn't make you more of a Christian. And you go on a Sunday and you go and you make noise for 4 hours in a building, praying to some God that, you can't even take a minute to see what's happening outside there. Where is the verse that says love thy neighbor as you love yourself? That's the issue. Where is that verse that says love thy neighbor as you love yourself? Who's your neighbor? These people? Who's your neighbor? That's the issue. Who's your neighbor? Anybody, any Christian in the world, in the U.S. Congress, Bo Kim and Ted Cruz, the Bible says we must support Israel. Which verse? I'm doing this because I was taught that we must always support Israel. Show me the verse that says so. I'm in South Africa now, and I look at these things, we watch these things, and we just laugh and say, oh, these people I thought they were supposed to be clever than us. We thought we were black. We were supposed to be more, not civilized, not educated like them. But the way they speak, my goodness. If you're a Christian and you get told in church on a Sunday that you must pray for Jerusalem and you must pray for the Jews, stand up and go. Go home and pray for the Palestinians because they're being killed. Doesn't matter if they're Arab or if they are Muslim, it doesn't make any difference. The fact is they're human beings. These labels of you being a Christian, you being whatever, they came with us. We're all made in the image of Jesus, in the image of God. God says, let's make man in our own image and our likeness. And set your heart as a Christian as well. That where is that Christianity? Remember the parable of the Good Samaritan? The parable of the Good Samaritan. Remember who passed that injured person first? It was a Levi. And they were enemies with the Samaritans. Imagine, amongst themselves, they didn't want each other. So who are we? And who are the cousins? The person who passed again there was a priest going to a temple to go and offer sacrifices, to go and pray. But one person comes, not even anything. He picks him up and he goes and took him inside and in and pays for his recovery. But the very people are supposed to know more about God, supposed to be holy. They passed an injured man there. So who are we? When these arrogant people does this and he's like, oh my goodness, how can they do this? How can they do that? Set your heart and set yourself and tell me, how long will you sit there? And all you tell your kids one day. Doesn't matter what this is happening in Palestine or wherever far away, but just one day, what will you say to your children? What did you do? I'm doing my part at the moment. I'm doing my part. Thank God for this technology. Thank God for this social media. Thank God for everything. I'm doing my part. What have you done? That's the issue. What have you done? Anybody else who's so afraid of talking about this thing, what have you done? Now, if what I'm doing is a sin, I'll account to him one day and I'll tell him, listen, you gave me a brain to think. You gave me a brain to think for myself and say, this can't be. You gave me a conscience. You gave me humanity. And I cannot just sit back and fold my arms and say, no, it's fine. It's fine because if I can say anything, I'm not going to go to heaven. Let me go to hell for the truth. It's fine. And I'll still tell him because he says to me in Isaiah, come, let's reason together. I will reason and say, listen, you made us all equal. Did you not give us John 3:16 that says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only son for all of us to whoever believes in him will be saved. I believed in him. I accepted him. So you can't tell me that there's still special people somewhere that were promised a piece of land in a desert somewhere. But instead of them coming to live with other people there, they come and destroy and bomb little children. And I'm not supposed to say anything about that. I'm supposed to be quiet because I'm afraid that you're going to get angry with me. Then why did you make us? Then why did you make me? You should just, don't create them and stay with them. It's fine. Leave us alone. That's why the devil is in this world now, destroying this world today. Because of these games that we see, people claiming to be this and that. And then some people are so afraid to speak because they think that they're offending God. My God, the one that I received in my life when I got born again, says to me, I must love my neighbor as I love myself. That's what I'm doing today with this show. And every time I speak about Palestinians, that's what I'm saying. That I love these people because they are my neighbors. Because the Bible says I must do that. I can't bomb my neighbor. I can't starve my neighbor. I can't do those things. But shame on us Christians that sits there and look and do nothing. Shame on us. Shame on us. All right. Yeah. I'm going to end it here. It's just that, whenever I touch a subject, I become so emotional because it's not right. I love Anna Kasparian. Man, good, that woman is passionate. From TYT Young Turks. Anna Kasparian. I saw one of their videos with Piers Morgan and she becomes so emotional. I wouldn't scream like, hey, I'm not a woman, but I understand where she comes from. No amount of justification will justify carpet bombing kids, starving young children, destroying everything, from homes to schools to crèches, and then your only reason will be if they release the hostages, this will be over. No, it won't be over. It's been raging for 75 years. Where is your humanity? I love Candace Owens. I don't know, one day she will see my video. I love that woman. And I understand why black people hate her, because they are evangelical Christians. They think Israel is their only salvation, I mean, it happens that you find people like that, and yeah. I love her. She calls a spade a spade. And I think her husband is Jewish as well, but he's one of those Jews that, are human. You don't hate Jews. I don't hate anybody who's a Jew. I've not even met a Jew. I worked for one once way back, some restaurant in Fairmont in Johannesburg. But the arrogance that they portray, like this Jewish whatever, that in Cape Town, those white people, they call themselves Jews. Yeah, I mean, anybody who's white can just say Jew. They'll fit right in. Pity us who are dark skinned. They can't even say we are Jews, even though we are and we can be. Yeah. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for taking your time, man, and for clicking on our video. And thank you so much. And I want to apologize for any, strong words that came out. Yeah, but it's uncensored, this one. So forgive me for that. Words like that W word. I apologize for that. But it just gets to me. That every time when I open up the TV, I see something's going on. And the response of the world is just eerie silence. I don't know, where's Britain? Where's China? Where's Russia? Where are you? Where's North Korea? Are you all afraid of the US? Really? Because if you bomb Israel, Trump will bomb you. Are you all afraid of that little country? Bomb it first and then bomb these ones. An eye for an eye, right? That's what the Torah says. The Torah, it teaches them an eye for an eye. So, yeah, tell me what you think below, anyhow. Comment below, please. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to our channel, and for you to get more of this. If you like what I'm saying, if you don't like what I'm saying, tell me still. It's fine. I can take it on the chin like a man, not a coward. And what I like about criticism is that criticism, it's nice because it makes you grow. So talk to me. Tell me what you think. I love you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.